Welcome back to Ask Allison. Here's today's question. I work in a large medical hospital and have over 250 clients, so I see people probably once every 3 months. I've only been out of the training portion of my career for 2 years, and I feel like I've lost all my clinical skills just doing supportive therapy and brief check ins. I'd love to quit and start a private practice so I can do actual therapy, but I'm terrified and single. What are your thoughts on doing something like the large telehealth companies that hire therapists as a stepping stone first instead? So first, I want to thank Therapy Notes for sponsoring Ask Allison. It's an all-inclusive, simple, affordable practice management system that has everything you need from your calendar, your notes, video conferencing, which is free. You don't have to pay extra for that, and the lowest HIPAA compliant credit card processing rate of 2.6% with no transaction fee or per transaction. Therapy Notes is the highest rated EHR on Trustpilot with over 1,000 positive reviews. I love that their notes format follows the golden thread with information automatically flowing from intake to recurring notes so that you don't have to double entry everything. You can check them out for free for 2 months if you use the promo code ABUNDANT at checkout. That's at therapynotes.com. So let's answer your question because reading it made me tired. 250 clients sounds absolutely exhausting. I was afraid that I was losing my clinical skills when I was building my practice. So I know that sense of like, what if I don't actually know what I'm doing anymore? Some of it is like riding a bike. Some of it is like learning to do a wheelie for the first time on that bike. So if you're like most therapists, you've integrated your clinical skills into your life and you forgot about it. So some of the ways that you communicate with your loved ones is informed by what you've learned. Is that the same as therapy? No, it's not. But it's a good bouncing off point to show you that you know some things that you may not be giving yourself credit for, and you are probably a pro at treatment plans and the supportive therapy that you've been doing, which we all do. Your supportive therapy is such a well-honed skill at this point, since that's the majority of what you're doing, that when it comes time to do the supportive therapy in session with your private practice clients, it's going to be like easy for you. Being terrified is totally normal when starting or considering starting a practice. I hear the combination of terrified and excited pretty much daily from people. Being single means you probably don't have income coming in from elsewhere. That's the scary part of that for you. So the scariest tangible part, we're going to bypass like fear of failure, et cetera, that most of us feel for right now. But the really scary tangible part is like, how are you going to be able to pay your bills? The most important thing is to have a plan that's based on principles that work. We have a worksheet today. It's a free download for it's outlining the types of plans you need to have in place. I'm going to strongly encourage you to have savings enough to pay your bills for a few months. Just the basics. Pare down your spending so you don't spend longer working 2 jobs or longer being worried about income than is absolutely necessary. A few months of delaying gratification is so worth it for the freedom that you're essentially buying yourself with that. It also lights a bit of a fire under your butt to do the things that you need to do to build. So if you start a part-time practice while you're working full-time, I would say to save any and all money that you make in your private practice beyond what is necessary for overhead, funnel all that money into savings so that you can quit your full-time job earlier than you would be if you got used to that money and started spending it. I swear I'm going to answer your question. So the large telehealth platforms that hire therapists can be a good option in a very specific circumstance. If you are working in a place that is so toxic, you absolutely have to get out now, then they're a great option. If, however, your goal is to have a thriving practice as your income, then I recommend not signing on with one of them. 99% of the people I've talked to who've worked for them have said it was exhausting, the boundaries were difficult to manage, the pay was poor. Most people already have those dynamics where they're currently working. So no need to learn a whole other system and go through that transition and not get benefits for a temporary situation unless you're desperate. Especially when you can build what you want with the boundaries that feel really good to you in your private practice and at the income that you want. Because you absolutely can get your own clients in your private practice. You don't need those companies to funnel them to you. You just have to follow very doable guidance. We have all the tenets of that guidance in our free training, How to Fill Your Practice Without Being Salesy or Spending Money You Don't Have. You can find that at www.abundanceparty.com/fill. I'll link to it. But if you want to like think about those tenets first, that's a really great place to start. If you want the details and the step-by-step of how to do it, everything from like setting policies all the way to getting the clients in the door to raising your rates, all those kinds of things for down the line too. Join us in the Abundance Party. It's $49 a month. That's at abundanceparty.com. I'll link to that also. I hope that helps you think about how to weigh whether that's a good decision for you right now. And if you guys have questions for Ask Allison, please DM me over on Instagram where I'm abundance_practice_building, and we will add it to the queue. And I usually give a little tidbit of like, here's something to think about in the meantime. All right, I'll talk to you later.